Credibility of the Quran and Standards for Verification and Evaluation. The fourth episode, the third criterion, Part 1, the clarity of Quranic texts. Islamists claim that the Quran is a clear divine book in its texts and meanings. Assuming the validity of this claim, the Quran should possess the following characteristics. It should express its texts in the clearest manner possible, free from any ambiguity that may confuse the reader. It should maintain its clarity and eloquence when translated into other languages, reflecting its eloquence inherent in the Arabic language in which it was revealed. It should not contain foreign words, as its author claimed that its eloquence and clarity lie in the Arabic language in which it was revealed. Let's examine these characteristics separately. In this episode, I will discuss the clarity of meanings in the Quranic texts and whether the Quran expresses its verses clearly. 1. How can we say the Quran is clear when it includes many mysterious words, such as the set of letters at the beginning of its chapters like Alif Lam Ra, Alif Lam Mim, and Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad? 2. Many verses are not understood in their apparent context and require interpretation that may contradict the content's apparent subject or meaning. Often, to understand the verses without compromising their sanctity, they must be interpreted based on other texts or on preconceived assumptions proposed by interpreters or so-called Muslim scholars, using personal conclusions, reasoning, and opinions without definitive or tangible evidence. Hence, we see significant differences in interpretation and understanding, leading to confusion and the frequent resort to justifications by religious scholars saying, "And Allah knows best." The following examples illustrate the extent of confusion and ambiguity in most Quranic verses. Alif Lam Ra. These are the verses of the book and a clear Quran. Chapter 15 verse 1. How can this text be considered clear when it starts with mysterious symbols that are not explained? Perhaps those who disbelieve would wish that they had been Muslims. Chapter 15 verse 2. Why would disbelievers perhaps wish to be Muslims? He sends down the angels with the inspiration of his command upon whom he wills of his servants. Chapter 16 verse 2. What criteria are used to select the servants qualified to receive Allah's angels? Man is created from a sperm drop, then at once he is a clear adversary. Chapter 16 verse 4. What does adversary mean here? What is it that man was an adversary to, and how can this man dispute or argue about what was predestined in what was called the preserved tablet? What is the purpose of this verse, and what is its benefit to Allah or humans? They will say there were 3, the 4th of them being their dog, and they will say there were 5, the 6th of them being their dog. Chapter 18 verse 22. Why does the Quran ignore a simple question about the number of people in the cave, while the author of the Quran is one who has claimed to know everything? Where is clarity in this matter? The Most Merciful, who is above the throne established. Chapter 20 verse 5. Where is the location of this throne and what are its attributes? Many Islamists interpret the word throne to mean domination and authority without any evidence, also ignoring the certainty of the existence of a material throne and his burden, which says, "And carry the throne of your Lord above them on that day." 8, chapter 69 verse 17. Where is the clarity in the verse, "And we have certainly beautified the nearest heaven with stars, and have made them missiles for the devils," chapter 67 verse 5. Where is this nearest heaven? Is it reasonable to believe that stars are missiles directed at devils who ascended to the sky to spy on the divine assembly? Science has informed us that the distance to the nearest star from Earth, aside from the Sun, is approximately 4.2 light-years, which is roughly 40 trillion kilometers. And where is clarity and meaning in these verses that often require explanation or interpretation by religious scholars? And upon Allah is the direction of the way, and among them are those deviating. And if he had willed, he would have guided you all. Chapter 16 verse 9. What is the purpose of the road here? And who is the deviant here? And why did Allah decide not to guide us all? We decreed for the children of Israel in the scripture that indeed, you would cause corruption on the earth twice and you would become tyrants. Chapter 17 verse 4. How does Allah decree corruption? And why twice? What benefit does this acknowledgement serve? Here is an example that has forced interpreters to submit and resort to the saying, "Allah knows best." He presents to you an example from yourselves, Do you have among those whom your right hands possess any partners in what we have provided for you so that you are equal therein, and would fear them as your fear of one another? Thus do we detail the verses for people who use reason. Chapter 30 verse 28. I encourage Muslims to endeavor to grasp the meanings of the aforementioned examples and numerous Quranic verses within their textual contexts. They are likely to encounter a multitude of interpretations, prompting the need to seek guidance from certified religious scholars and Quranic interpreters, totaling more than 42, with over 20 of them from non-Arab backgrounds. What remains remarkable is the extensive range of interpretations, sometimes differing by up to 180 degrees, often culminating in statements like Allah knows best, or knowledge belongs to Allah.
Talal al-Rawandi